Welcome to this week's edition of Secret Spaces, Secret's weekly call where we get the opportunity to speak with DApps throughout the network and hear about the incredible things that they're working on. If we're lucky, we probably could get some alpha. This is Jay from Secret Foundation. Tor is on assignment this week, so you get to hear my voice, good or bad. Let's get right into things. Our guest today is the Onenet Bushi team. If you aren't familiar with them, they're building an on-chain gaming platform, an FPS game on Secret. Uh, let's let the team introduce themselves. I think it's pretty much Leon. So, Leon, why don't you introduce yourself? Say a few words.
Hello, everybody. And hello, Jay. It's nice to see you on
Yeah,
this space.
I know, right? They let me out of the cage every once in a while to play.
That's super cool that we get to have this space together. But hello, everybody. I am Leon, part of the Bushi team. If you guys don't know Bushi, it's a third-person competitive shooter. Um, and Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It's a third-person competitive shooter launching on a platform called Onenet, which we're also building, which is kind of like a game distribution platform. And we are very close to launching the video game come the 31st of this month.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, I know more than a handful of people are looking forward to it. Thanks for being here, Leon. Really appreciate it. Before we take a dive into the discussion, I just want to let everyone know to check out the tweet we've pinned to the top of this space. Every week we create a unique Secret Spaces badge that can only be claimed by joining these calls. This week you can mint a very special Bushi themed secret badge for attending. All you need to do is click the link to claim this badge. You just need to enter the claim code, which I'm about to give you. The claim code for this week for your exclusive Bushi badge is free mint. One word, free mint. Since this is a secret NFT, it's able to contain private data that's only visible to the owner. And inside this one, you'll find a sneak peek at the Anon playable character in Bushi. Super cool. Can't wait to try it out. All right, now let's get started on this. Most people within the secret community, Leon, should be aware of Onenet Bushi by now. And as you've been in building mode over the past year, uh, anyone who isn't familiar with this project, can you just give us a brief summary of what Onenet and Bushi are? I know you briefly talked about it a moment ago, but just kind of a little deeper of a dive on what it means in the secret space.
Yeah. No worries. So let me go and do. I guess I'll start with Onenet first, and Bushi. So, let's see. OneNet, let's start with the very basic. It's a game distribution platform, right? So it's a desktop application that we've made. It's probably um, currently in an alpha stage, or maybe I might even call it a pre-alpha stage, though we're launching it probably within the next couple of days here. But it is a platform where you can essentially just manage all the games that you want to play that's built on top of, well, that you can build, I'm sorry, you can list your video games on this platform. That's kind of like a decentralized Steam, and that is one function of the platform, which is like, game distribution. A big thing that we're trying to do, though, however, is actually offer infrastructure for game developers to start building their video games and then start distributing them. So things like um, APIs and SDK that we've built for Bushi, we will be packaging and giving it out there for video game developers to use as well. And pretty much one of the main reasons why we decided to create a platform is because um, Web3 or regular traditional companies right now are not very friendly towards Web3 video games. And just a clarification, um, we support both just strictly Web2 video games and then video games that have Web3 aspects to them. But like I was saying, a lot of the traditional solutions right now, they do not really offer support for Web3 video games or Web3 developers strictly because of probably market sentiment towards video games or involving NFTs being more so scams or like rug pulls or just things that aren't necessarily good for the video game environment. Um, which is why we created a solution for it, where we do allow Web3 video games to come and use our APIs and SDKs to distribute the video game. And that's kind of it, like in a nutshell. There's quite a bit more, but we'll be releasing a lot more information on the Onenet side after we launch the video game. But as far as Bushi goes, it is a third-person competitive shooter, like I said, and we've been building it for about 3 years now. Right now, it's built in Unreal Engine 5. We recently just ported it over from Unreal Engine 4 to the 5 version, and we've been heavily focused on that within the last couple months or so. How we integrate NFTs or Web3 assets into the video game itself is just through basic microtransactions where NFTs are in the form of skins and cosmetics that you can pretty much just play throughout the video game. So right now we have 3 characters that you can play. Well, technically 4. And all of those are NFTs where if you have the NFT, we scan your wallet. If you have it, that's great. You get to play these different characters. If you don't, then um, at the very least, you have the option to, go to the community that has the NFT, purchase the NFT, and then start playing it, start playing the video game. And then really quickly before I go on for way too long, uh, just for the gameplay loop of Bushi, it's a 5 versus 5 arena style kind of battle royale. So it's a mixture of everything that you normally see in between like Fortnite, um, uh, Counter Strike, and then Overwatch, and then what's a good battle arena? Like Apex Legends, if you guys would compare it to that. So you start off as a 5 versus 5, and each round you pretty much just duke it out until there's one team standing. And then within the video game, there's also a gaslight circle where it gets increasingly smaller and smaller so that you have to end up fighting each other in the middle if you last too long. So that's the gameplay loop, and that's pretty much the 2 projects in a nutshell. You guys can check out. Actually, I'll pin a couple of videos on here, just so you guys can kind of see what you're dealing with. But yeah.
So you actually that was literally one of my next questions is, the gameplay and, getting a sneak peek at what it looks like. But one of the big things that you didn't mention, which is a huge event, yesterday you launched a free NFT collection. What should people know about it? Like, what does the NFT give people access to?
Yeah, so it gives access to quite a bit of different things in the video game. So I just went ahead and pinned one of the videos, by the way, if you guys want to check it out on this space. But let me get my cheat sheet down here because I always kind of forget the differences between the two that we have. So we have 2 NFTs right now. One is the free alpha access NFT, which is going on right now, but um, I woke up to a good surprise today, and we are actually minted out of that one. It was absolutely free. It was on Stash .io, if you guys are familiar with Stash on the Secret Network. And we've partnered up together to pretty much see if we could distribute this alpha access, because we're launching on the 31st, to people who want to play the video game. And it seems like we've sold out today, which is crazy, and that's really cool. But essentially, what that gives you is a pass to play the video game. And then what it actually gives you for the free NFT is that it gives you the Bushi access, of course. It gives you access to 3 total maps within the video game, and then they are cycled in a rotation. So if you have this NFT, you could really only play one map or host one map in a weekly cycle basis. And then this also gets you access to the playable character, Mortal Goku, which is like the very base character that everybody gets to play. It gets you 1 guaranteed NFT, a weapon NFT, in the form of like a wooden kendo sword. If anyone is familiar with Japanese culture, it's just a wooden sword that people, there's a sport with it, and blah blah blah. But and it also gives you one product key for your friends and family that you can give to them to play the video game, although they will not have access to that tier one Kendo NFT or any like Web3 asset really. Um, and that is what the NFT that was on Stash, that is what it had. Um, and again, it's sold out. I wish we could give more, but we gave out a specific amount that is specific to our server test that we are looking to do. So it was a collection of 5,000 or so. And then we have the collective players, which is our Genesis NFT holders, and that's about 751. So we're trying to look to stress test our servers with hopefully 6,000 players at one time. So
Now, you mentioned the launch of the Onenet platform on the 31st. What will people be able to do on the platform once it launches? And is that accessible to people who don't have an NFT to actually play the game?
yeah, so this OneNet platform is going to be very very basic, right? So it's kind of like a proof of concept of what we wanted to do. But essentially, what everyone can download the OneNet platform, and what you can do on there is that you can create an account to start. And then we have two account creation methods that we're kind of testing out here. And one is just your basic Web3 wallet, where you can connect your wallet to your account, and you can have an account that way. And then, of course, because video games are very much still traditional Web 2, we also have an email account creation process where anyone who doesn't really want anything to do with crypto or any Web3 asset, they can still create the account, and with a regular email account creation process, and they can just kind of check out the platform that we have. Um, And the main function of what this platform is right now is specifically just to support Bushi at the moment. And so any updates that we have to the game, any kind of quick hot fixes or quick patches to the video game, we can push out through this platform, and it'll automatically update for you when you launch the application, which is very much close to what Steam is doing, and it's kind of an easy way for us to be able to push out changes, and the user not having to actually go to our website and continue to re-download the next update of our video game. So, and it's kind of, again, like I said, it's kind of like a proof of concept. Whatever we can do with Bushi, we can do with any other video game right now, and push out changes for future video games. And yeah, anyone can download it. So I would really appreciate everybody if they could download it once it's live, kind of get your bearings in with the application itself. We'll be taking in feedback from both Bushi and the platform. So we love listening to the community about what could be changed, what could be fixed. And so that's kind of also one of the reasons why we're allowing for an open alpha test of the platform and then a closed alpha test of the video game.
You mentioned a Steam comparison. I'm just curious, will there be live streaming capabilities later on down the line with something with Bushi?
So that's one thing that we're actually looking for right now, is like people who normally just stream on both Twitch.tv or YouTube or any other streaming method that they have. Um, we're looking for people to play the video game just because that's kind of what the video game was made for, which is made for esports, made for streaming. It's content friendly. It's IP rich, which means like there's a bunch of intellectual property that can go into Bushi that people can really enjoy. So, for example, um, the non-army like profile picture look, that's already been integrated into the video game as an IP, as a playable character. So if you have an anon, you can play that character, and you can just have your way with the video game in that sense. So there's a bunch of different changes and bunch of new content that we can easily integrate into the video game, and because of that, it's super streamer friendly. Um, if you're a streamer and you're looking to stream the video game, we'd love to hear about it. There's kind of like these bounties or these reward systems that we have for those that want to do some want to stream. But as far as being able to stream on the platform itself or on Onenet, we don't really, or at least I don't really see us as a streaming service. Maybe later down in the future, you could possibly stream directly on the platform, but that is kind of a big lift from where we're going. But I think, depending on what the community says, I think it's always possible to integrate something new, especially if it's in demand. So, yeah, if you're looking to stream, I guess we would really appreciate you seeing more content about the video game.
So this really seamlessly leads me to my next question. Um, for once you launch on the 31st, walk us through the timeline of what's to come after the platform launch. What do you see some of the priorities being as far as the game and the user experience?
Yeah. So after the launch of the video game, like I said, um, we allowed 6,000 people to be able to play the video game, and really that's just to stress test our servers, right? Which is one of the biggest things that we're looking to do is really see if our servers can handle an influx of like 6,000 plus players, right? Um, which is one of the first things that we're looking to test. And of course, during this testing period of alpha, we're looking to just see any bugs that may happen. And I want to make sure everybody understands that the video game is not going to be perfect when it launches. There's going to be bugs, there's going to be things to test, and that's the reason why we have this test. Um, but overall, from alpha up until full production, which full production can be 6 months from now to 3 months from now to a year from now, really depends on how our testing goes. But when full production happens, it's just going to be a continued seasonal content. And then with that, we have things like rank matchmaking is going to be a thing where you can have your ranks worldwide and see exactly who it is that you're playing up against. That's probably one of the first things that's going to be introduced into full production. Um, uh, I guess with the ranking system, there's going to be like a hidden MMR system where you matchmake with people who are the same skill level as you, which is a bit difficult to actually design, but I'm pretty confident that we can replicate something that's pretty industry standard. Um, and that's for the video game itself. A lot of our focus will probably, I wouldn't say switch over because we do have two teams, two fairly sized teams that are kind of split down the middle between the Onenet side and then the video game side. Um, I think after launch and after, making sure that the video game is very functional, we're switching over directly to building the platform out to be able to get ready for things like our token launch, which is probably one of the bigger events that's going to happen after we release Bushi. Um, we'll start to be working on contracts that are related to on like a video game marketplace. First, probably with Secret, and then when we actually have a token out. Um, I guess we'll be prepping for that anyways, but that's something that we're looking to start working on relatively soon. Um, let's see. Of course, a medium for the DAO to be able to actually create proposals and start talking things out about the platform is also something that we're looking to try and formalize. Um, but really, I guess from now until, or from the 31st up until full production, there's a bunch of stuff that we'll need to be working on. So it's definitely just the first step from launching the game. But I think we're kind of looking forward to working on post alpha rather than pre alpha. It's been a long time coming, so definitely looking forward to working both on the video game and the platform.
So you got a lot, not like you have a lot on your plate at the moment. This is great news. I know you were on Spaces not too long ago announcing this moment, which is fantastic. And as you are developing more content, as you're developing more, furthering along the stages, how do people get involved to learn more about these updates and things coming down the pipeline? Like if you're going to do another NFT drop, what's the best way that people can get in touch and learn more?
Yeah, the best way is through Twitter. Most likely. We have all of our stuff on Twitter. We have everything through Discord as well. So those are the biggest two mediums that we're kind of focusing on, especially with the help of Melchup here. Um, he he's been doing great on the Discord and Twitter posting. But yeah, so Twitter and Discord is where we pretty much reside. Everything that we have coming out for patch notes and stuff like that will also be through Twitter. However, um, yeah, I guess you could also look at our website specifically, where every patch note that we have, every major update that we have, we're going to have a Medium article associated with it. Um, so that's probably a very good place for you to start. Um, and then, yeah, Twitter and Discord is probably the best
So
places.
so you which Twitter handle would be better for people to get information at launch OneNet or at Play Bushi or both?
Maybe both. So one's very specific to actual video game gameplay, and updates to the what's in the video game itself, which is Play Bushi. We also update you guys on like what the developers are doing there. We do developer interviews as well, and that's kind of like what we're mainly focusing on right now. And then anything regarding the token or the application or partnerships with other video games, you're gonna see that on the Launch Onenet Twitter instead. So if you guys want to, like, for example, um, hear about which video games are going to be launching on the Launch Onenet platform next, you'll probably hear it from the platform first before you hear it, or before you ever hear it from the gaming Bushi side. So if you're interested in what games are coming up, I would follow the Launch Onenet Twitter for sure.
Awesome. And just to follow up, if someone does want to register an account, they could just go to launchonenet.io, correct?
Yep, that's our website, and that's going to be the main website for the platform, and then Bushi, which will be out launching a website specifically made for Bushi, um, right before we launch the products. The entire website for both Launch OneNet and Bushi has had or is currently having a rehaul. So right before we launch everything publicly, the website itself will get changed quite heavily. So um, look out for that too.
Right on. And you mentioned before that people can register either with their wallet or an email address, correct? If they don't necessarily want to go down the crypto path.
Yeah, so right now we actually have, I think right now we may have accidentally required an email to create an account. Before you could just connect your wallet and that was your account. I could be wrong. However, right now specifically, you have to create an account and I think it's via email. I have to double check actually, but either way, um, you can create your account, and then you can. Ooh, it's not really linking your wallet to anything. It's just seeing which account is actually which wallet is currently connected, um, and then it just tracks everything through your email, um, or it tracks everything through your account, which I'm looking here right now, and actually the email is optional, so you don't have to create an email account. Um, but it just sees which wallet you have connected, scans that wallet to do everything that you need to do, including play this character, that.
This is awesome. This is great news. And I know when you were on several weeks ago, you were really excited about this moment. And now that this moment is here, it sounds like there's so much more coming down the pipeline that people can really get jazzed about. They can actually now see it for themselves as opposed to just watching video demo. They can actually, for those who have minted the NFT yesterday, I think it's great news that you for lack of a better phrase, sold out in one day for all the NFTs. So I hope that your test realm now will start beginning and really net some great data for you. Um, at this time, I want to open up the floor to anyone in the audience. If you have any questions for Leon regarding the game, Bushi, or Onenet as an entity, please by all means raise your hand, and I will bring you to the stage.
I got a couple
In the
questions while we wait on people to put their hands up. So, system requirements. What kind of system requirements is it going to be for both the Onenet platform and Bushi? Not sure if they have the same system requirements, but like personally, I have a MacBook, and I'm just wondering if I'm going to be able to participate.
Yeah, we have a list of system requirements, and I won't be able to find it on hand. I know it's lost through all the messages that I have, but unfortunately, on day one, Mac is not supported. It's a bit difficult right now with Unreal Engine to support Mac, but it is on the timeline that we are looking at. We're looking to actually work on that. So I guess that's actually another question to what's after alpha. And we'll be working pretty heavily on supporting Mac users just because we know that a bunch of people play Mac or play on Mac. So that's one thing that we have on our roadmap. And the port over, just to give everybody a timeline on it, porting it over from Windows to Mac is not necessarily that hard. It's actually relatively easy. However, one thing that kind of blocks us is just making sure that we have enough testing on the Mac system or the Mac OS to be able to, release it and not have everything mess up like together with Windows players and Mac players. So the cross play you can say, although there's just the same PC, we just have to make sure that the testing is there. For Bushi on Windows, we've tested for 3 years. On Mac, I definitely will say it's not going to take 3 years. But I would probably say maybe like a month or so or two of testing after we actually port it over is probably a necessity. So it'll come hopefully soon, but on day one it will not support Mac.
Looking forward to that. Actually, you've got a lot of Mac users, me being one of them. So really looking forward to that.
It's good to hear that you're planning to support it eventually.
Yeah, I mean there's a realm, and I've talked with the developers beforehand. There's a realm where we can just push it out, and people can play it. And if they have problems, they have problems. At the very least, they're playing. But we'll have to see. I definitely don't like the fact that we're not supporting Mac yet. But as a smaller video game studio and team, it's hard for us to be able to do both at the same time. So, yeah, I think people can just rest assured though that we'll be pushing out a change to be able to support Mac as quickly as we can, really.
Totally understandable. Do what you got to do as fast as you can, so we can get involved too. Really looking forward to it. Is there any questions from the audience? Anyone else who wants to reach out and ask Leon any questions? Now's a perfect time for it.
I've got one more. So it's probably a little early to be considering this, but I'm sure you guys have at least thought about future partnerships similar to the non-splayable character. Um, I wonder if there's any possibility of projects maybe outside of Secret, even on other IBC chains, partnering with you to put like a playable character from their collection in the game, and then maybe you could have some kind of like tournament or something that's kind of focused on their collection and have some kind of prizes that are related to their collection. That would be pretty cool. Be a cool way to have some cross community participation.
Right now, so yes, we are very much open to any partnerships with those who have a IP that they'd like to put in the video game, right? So like I said, we have 4 playable characters in the video game, and 2 of them are NFT communities already. One being the Anons, and the other one being Cataclops from Secret DAO. And those have been great for us to be able to just give an extra layer of utility to these different NFTs or NFT communities. And even so, like, I have people coming into our Discord asking, how can we purchase an Anon, or how can we purchase a Cataclops? And it just helps kind of symbiotically by them playing because they want to play an NFT from a different community. So it helps quite a bit. And then for us, we do have plans already with different NFT communities to put in another IP into our video game. So right now, we have pretty much finished development on the 4 major players or playable characters that we have for the video game. And then we have one cooking up right now with a Stargaze community. And what we did was that we had a Stargaze wide, well, it's really a network wide / Stargaze partnership wide design contest, which is already finished on the 15th, and then we'll be starting voting after we launch alpha on which character from the design contest will become a playable character. Which it was a super cool event. We had over, I think, 25 submissions, which is quite a bit for for these artists to actually create concepts. They had put in a lot of work for some of these concepts, and it helped quite a bit that a lot of these submissions have been really, really good. So how the voting is going to happen for that is that those in the collective are going to be able to vote for this new playable character, and we're just going to straight up model it, rig it, animate it, and then get it into the video game as soon as possible. And then we'll probably be doing a mint for that playable character on Stash or something, Stargaze or something like that. And then we'll probably continue to be doing some sort of contests or just regularly bringing out NFT communities into the video game, depending. Of course, there's the development costs with every character out there that we create, which is quite a bit more expensive than I think that people think. But because it's super IP rich and we love to see different characters fight and duke it out, I think we're just going to continue to make skins like that. And then as far as competition goes between communities, we'll be having competitions. We'll be having a tournament actually relatively soon here. We're planning it out, but it's not necessarily going to be which community has the most players or has the most skills, but more so team based. And you can really just play anything that you really want rather than competing with each other. Although in the future, maybe we'll stick communities against each other and see, which ones are the best gamers, essentially. So
That would be fun, yeah, for sure.
Well, it looks like Patrick and I covered every question under the sun that we could possibly ask you at the moment. Again, the floor is open for anybody else who wants to reach out to Leon. But in the meantime, absolutely, we've given every way that you can get involved in any of the alpha that's coming on the pipeline, to Twitter handles, a URL. Please, everyone, if you haven't looked at the demos, take a look at it. It's pretty badass. There's some pretty cool animation that they've put a lot of work into. It's obvious. If there are no questions, I will turn everyone loose a few minutes early. Just as a reminder, this is a weekly Twitter Spaces that we feature dApps from in and around the secret network ecosystem. It's every Tuesday at 5 p.m. UTC, 12 p.m. Eastern. If you are unaware, if you want to share it with us, just please at Secret Network, follow us, tell people to follow us, and we can get information out to whoever needs it at any given time. But Leon, thank you so much for joining us. Take care of that cough. Keep smacking the snooze until you don't have to anymore. But really grateful. Thanks for sharing what you're doing.
Yeah, guys, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm always happy to be on these spaces, and thank you for everybody being here. If you have access to the game, just look out for it on the 31st. Hopefully, there's no delay, but you know how development goes. It seems like. But 31st is the day. We'll be launching it. We'll get you guys into the video game. You guys can play with us. We'll have nights out. I think like we had Friday scheduled for when the developers are actually just doing matches against developers and communities. So that'll be really cool. I will tell you right now, I have 3 years of experience with this video game, so you're not beating me, unfortunately, until like a couple of months down the road. But we're really, really looking forward to everybody kind of just playing the video game, testing up the limits of what they can do in the video game, and it'll be a lot of fun. Something cool about us is that we're a video game, even though we're in the crypto space, we're a video game first, and that's going to be super cool with the community to just have these different tournaments and see who it is that can beat the devs, and that'll be really fun to see. So. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and I will also stop talking so much and take care of this call that I need to take care of.
Actually, last question. What do you have a time slated on the 31st that you're looking at, or is that too premature?
We haven't nailed down the time yet. It seems like we're actually bad with nailing down a time at a specific point, but on the 31st, it'll probably try to be open in the morning. Morning on the West Coast side, probably aiming for like 1 p.m. Of course, that is not like a guarantee, but of course we want it to go live and then the devs be able to be there just in case things break. So hopefully nothing breaks, and then we'll get it live early on the 31st, hopefully.
Right on. Looking forward to it, man. Thanks so much, Leon. Really appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, for joining us this week. We will see you next week, same time. Cheers, everyone.
Cool, guys. See ya.